Hi fans, thanks for calling the dreaded or punching on the clicking the whatever. Thanks for coming to the D-Rose, dreaded D-Rose report. Alright, let's see what I got here. Hey, for those wondering, Monday's Raw was kind of designed at the end of the feud, to end the feud with The Miz and Damien Sandow, but still no word yet if The Miz is going to do the Extreme Rules thing or not with Sandow, but anyway, The Miz and Summer Rae did a media New York City tour of the Marine 4 yesterday, and The Miz reportedly flew to join Paige for the filming of Santa's Little Helper. That's why his Paige is gone for a little while, and The Miz could be gone for a little while. So anyway, the feud is kind of over with there, I think. They may have taped something. But you know the worst thing about the Marine 4, I watched that? The Miz being The Miz. He was somebody else in the movie. The guy came after him with a machine gun. What does he do? He grabs Summer Rae, puts her in front of him, and she takes the bullets and is dead. And he gets out of it. It's just awful. WWE taped these matches a couple of nights ago in Providence for this week's main event. Fandango taking on Curtis Axel, Stardust taking on R-Truth, Brie Bella taking on Alicia Fox, Lucha Dragons taking on the Ascension. And the dark main event after last night's taping in Providence saw Adrian Neville taking on and Dolph Ziggler being saving Dean Ambrose. Hey, hang on a second. Let me start this again. The dark main event after last night's taping in Providence saw Neville and Dolph Ziggler save Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns from being beat down by Sheamus, Bad News Barrett, Seth Rollins, AJ Security. And Big Show came out, took on Neville, Ambrose, and Ziggler out of took them out, and then they came back, fought back, and took Big Show with a spear from Reigns, super kick from Ziggler, super kick from Ambrose, and Red Arrow from Neville to end the show. Whew. A lot of excitement. Mick Foley noted last night that WWE put more tickets up for sale for his Friday's Cheap Pops WWE Network taping. And regarding why WWE Intercontinental Champion Daniel Bryan was sent home from a recent European tour, which I mentioned, sources said that Bryan is indeed injured. He reportedly suffered an injury April 9th at the live event in Dublin, Ireland, where he teamed up with Dolph Ziggler and Eric Rowan to defeat Sheamus, Wyatt, and Barrett. Not exactly sure what happened, with the injury, but the match got him sent home. Bryan was first sent home, and WWE officials expect him to be out for, maybe around a month. No word yet on the time frame, though, but I think they're going to want him to come back pretty much a little bit better shape than he did this last time. Eva Marie acted as a guest co-host from the Live from E! News program, I think it was yesterday, and reportedly did pretty well. And Monday's episode of Raw with Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler in the main event drew about 4.4 million viewers. This was up from last week of 3.6 million when they were taped. I don't like to tape shows. I mean, when they're out of the country, or I know the UK loves it, but it just, I don't know, it's a different feel to the show. All right, Raw was number 2 on cable that night, right behind the NFL playoffs. The original plans for the tag team match at Extreme Rules was called for Cesaro and Kid to defend against the Lucha Dragons and Kara and Callisto. Well, I'll see if we can follow this. See if I can say it right. Cesaro and Kid got over big at some of the live events at the European tour that may have influenced some of the bookings. It's not known if Cesaro and Kid's going to be working as baby faces from here on, but they will be working as faces against the New Day at Extreme Rules. Oh, by the way, in 2007, don't know whether you guys knew this or not, TNA Shark Boy settled a lawsuit against Dimension Films, which I think is also the people that do the old Freddy Krueger or Nightmare on Elm Street stuff. But anyway, and several other entities on infringement of copyrights and trademarks of the name Shark Boy in the Robert Rodriguez film, The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl in 3D. And one of the callers said that he thinks every time that show is played, he gets some royalties from it. Shark Boy does, maybe $5 or $10, who knows. 2008, The wrestling world suspended creative team Michael P.S. Hayes for 60 days due to an incident that took place in Florida during the course of WrestleMania week there, where Page allegedly made explicit insulting comments towards SmackDown star at the time, Mark Henry, using racially explicit words. He must have been drunk out of his mind to go up to that big boy and talk to him like that. Man. Anyway, they should have had his head examined. Hey, talk of pay issues in TNA continue, and Wrestling Observer has confirmed details originally broke by Brian Fritz of Sporting News. As of this past week, TNA's production crew were more than 2 months late on their pay, and they had not been paid for February pay-per-view tapings or the events since then. To add that insult to injury, workers received pay in April for the January UK tour, but was almost 70 days late when they were supposed to be paid within 30 days. Got that? Might want to write this down. And not only were the checks issued late, they were shorted on an average of about $1,000 a person. All right, to make things even worse, the production crew found out that TNA talent were finally being paid for the March tapings, while the production crew hasn't been paid for February yet. TNA has similar issues back in 2014 that were more significant, but one production worker noted that this is the third year in a row where there were issues at one point or another with late payments. While they had dealt with late payments before, they're being shorted the money on the check is a new problem, and likely going to be a big morale killer around there. Now, the TNA makes a lot of money off of the UK stuff, but whether they're losing that much over here in the States, man, they need to do some cost cutting big time. There's something just not jiving right there to me. All right, regarding Larry Zbyszko's WWE 2015 Hall of Fame speech, Bruno Sammartino did get him started in pro wrestling, and stories about him stalking Bruno in his yard were true. Larry's actual main trainer was Newton Tetrelli, or Ghetto Mungo. Not familiar with him. Might be a local guy. All right, some people do really good. Some people do really bad. Noted before, Hulk Hogan and WWE raised over $150,000 for the Connor Cure charity this past weekend. Hogan auctioned off a 1969 Chevy Camaro Z28 in Florida. The car was donated, from the Hope Foundation. Money was raised, contributed to the charities of Hogan's choice. One was Connor's Cure. Man, can't love the guy. WWE contracts. This is a little inside info. WWE contracts of Vito Grazio and Evan Singleton have been released as part of the current WWE lawsuit against the company. Well, not WWE lawsuit, but their lawsuit against WWE. Big Vito's main roster talent contract included $75,000 downside guarantee. Singleton's developmental contract was for $31,000 per year, but he also was given a $2,000 moving expenses from Pennsylvania to Florida. Vito's cuts of the house shows, pay-per-view events were left up to WWE, but the licensing product based around him he received about 25% of the net sales and products from from the WWE, from the DVDs, where the talent were featured as a performer, and they received like 5% of the total sales. Could add up, if you're on a lot of DVDs, could add up some very big money long after you're gone. WWE will tape more episodes of NXT's tonight at Full Sail University. It's going to be a takeover special that's going to be announced. They'll let us know when they're going to show it. That's going to be announced tonight. WWE, I know you love this. 2015 annual stockholder meeting is going to be today at 10 o'clock. I haven't heard anything out of it. There's been no gunfire, so everything must be good. John Cena, he received about 100+ degrees last few days. He says he's been working about a week with a pretty bad fever. He says, thank you, NyQuil. And I was telling you about Daniel Bryan. He served in Dublin, Ireland. But as it says here, injury likely just made things worse because Bryan was sent home from the tour. But he's already got the shoulder problem. I haven't heard what this problem is, but the company's sources say that Bryan is expected to be out for 5 weeks. So either way, it looks like he's going to be missing Payback pay-per-view. WWE officially hasn't officially said anything. Whether or not he's going to be defending his title at Extreme Rules on Sunday, but don't look like that's going to be the case. If he does, maybe come out and do a quick lose the title, to Barrett, and then have the match over with quick. I'm just about done with my coughing and choking. I'm about done with this too. Hold on. W officials are reportedly high on Dylan Miley due to his unique physique. Miley, did some recent in-ring appearances at NXT event and is scheduled to make his official debut soon. He's about 6'3", 285 pounds with enormous hands, and now sporting red trunks, red boots. There's this photo I put over on the Diamond Dan Facebook website if you want to see what he looks like. Big sucker. Miley made appearances at WrestleMania 31 Access, and everybody stopped when he came out and had their attention. He had their attention big time. All right. Oh, so AJ Lee sent us a little tweet to us, guys. Says, so you guys got, thank you, AJ, and thank you, taught me trending for days. She says, I have the most badass fans on earth. And happy birthday to what? John Cena, 38. Hall of Famer Tony Atlas, 71. TNA wrestler Jesse Goddard's 29. Also, this would have been the birthday of two-time AJPW Triple Crown champion Terry Gordy, would have been 54 years old. Thanks for clicking, you guys. I can go get a drink. I gotta go.